on TV 11.
Kirsten Lindquist.
Coming up on News 11 at 5, the Vikings' first draft pick, Chris Dolman, has finally shown up for training after a delay over money matters.
Today is the anniversary of a tragic bombing in Japan, a bombing that marked history with deep scars. While another bombing at a U.S. airbase in West Germany kills 2 Americans in an act of terrorism.
And a St. Paul man left homeless by a hotel shutdown continues his search for a place to live.
Paul Majors is off. News 11 at 5 is next.
There's more than a great race developing at the Dome. Pictures are too. Just go to the Twins' August 9th game against the Angels. It's Mando Photo Camera Night with certificates for free photo processing for the first 15,000 fans. They're good with any size film. You can even take pictures of your favorite Twins before the game. So come to the Dome August 9th against the Angels and stay tuned for further developments.
We must stop Godzilla before he destroys the city. Oh, what could he want? Unless we find something to appease him, we're doomed!
Hold out, party out of the ordinary. Hold out for Dr. Pepper.
Right now at Color Time, get what you want for only $5. Because your first week's rent on name brand appliances, VCRs, stereos, and TVs is now only $5. $5 stay for you, or call for immediate delivery to
Get what you want at Color Time.
for just $5.
Jack Directory Assistant. Now open in Rochester.
WUSA, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
From the action center of the Twin Cities, News 11. Kirsten, Jeff Passolt on Douglas.
Good afternoon. Paul Majors is off. Topping News 11 at 5, the Vikings finally signs up.
Chris Dolman reported to the Mankato training camp this afternoon, and our Jeff Passolt has more. Jeff?
Boy, it seems like everybody's trying to... Here we have the baseball strike one day, Vikings next. Strike.
News
Never know
on
what's
both
going on.
sides.
Yeah. Big news for the Vikings, though. Chris Dolman has signed with the Vikings. It's a multi-year deal. No exact figures, but you can bet he isn't getting minimum wage in Mankato. Here's some important stats on the linebacker. 6 feet 5 inches tall. He goes about 250 pounds. 24 years old. Out of the University of Pittsburgh, where he was a 4-year starter. He's an impressive football player. A lot of people have compared him to Matt Blair, both in size and style of play. Dolman flew into the Twin Cities this morning on a private Viking charter jet, so he's down in Mankato. Chris Dolman on hand now for the Vikes, and Mike Lynn slowly but surely getting the draft choices into camp.
Somehow it's reassuring to finally get that #1 pick.
Started 2 days ago. Now they've got Chris Dolman. News conference going on right now in Mankato, and we're going to be hearing from him later this evening.
All righty.
Great. An American serviceman and his wife were killed by a car bomb at Main Air Force Base in West Germany. The bomb exploded just after 7 in the morning in a parking lot as many people were reporting for duty. 17 other people, 15 of them Americans, were injured. West German officials say the terrorist group was apparently behind the attack. The Reagan administration has condemned the bombing, calling it a shameful act.
A Nicaraguan peace group late this afternoon says 29 Americans held hostage by rebels have been set free. Those Americans were allegedly captured by Contras yesterday. A spokesman for the group Witness for Peace says the 29 are on their way to San Carlos, Nicaragua. Meantime, in South Africa, more violence in the Black Township of Durban, where fiery riots left 19 people dead and 150 injured. Guards were called in to try to control the outbreak while residents packed up and fled their homes. South Africa with the U.S. State Department to try to find ways to stop the violence. Also in Africa, Pope Paul has begun his 12-day tour of the continent with a pledge for peace. The Pope is mile tour of Africa. Today, he kissed the ground of Togo, a small nation in Central.
A Twin Cities man is grateful to be alive tonight. Gary Erickson accident this afternoon that left his car completely flattened by a piece of construction equipment. Erickson, who is a site construction engineer, was pinned in his car for nearly 3 hours. When Erickson collided with a 100-pound earth mover at a construction. Police and emergency rescue crews first had to prop the earth mover with timbers to keep it from crushing the victim. Then they carefully cut him free of the car. Erickson is in fair condition with a fractured arm at Fairview Southdale Hospital. Brooklyn Park investigators are looking for a suspect in an early morning homicide. 23-year-old Robert Clark was found stabbed to death along Iris Drive. Neighbors found the body just before 6 a.m.
Arson investigators looking into a huge fire in Plato, Minnesota. Flames gutted the Copper Still Bar in that small town west of the Twin Cities overnight. The bar and a chiropractic clinic next door were destroyed as firefighters from 4 communities battled the blaze. The cause is still under investigation by the state fire marshal.
Well, it's time to check in with Paul Douglas right now. Hopefully he's got some bright news for us about the weather.
Pretty dreary day, though, isn't it? Hi, Paul.
A delightfully dreary day. Hi, John. Hi, Kirsten. It is hot out here. The heat is on. Just breathing out here is hard work at this hour. Skies have cleared. The rain clouds are now escaping into Wisconsin. It's going to be a beautiful evening. A bad evening for window washing and hang gliding. The winds right now are gusting up to 43 miles an hour. Beware if you're heading out to the lakes this evening, but otherwise the weather should cooperate for the next few days. We want to check today's 11 weather trivia quiz question. There were some rather intense thunderstorms today, especially north and west of the cities. Where is the safest place to be during an electrical storm? Your home, a tree, your car, an open field, or a lake? There are 2 answers today. The answer coming up in about 20 minutes. On Doppler 11, some light showers right now drifting eastward into Wisconsin. These are the thundery remains of the same storms that produced anywhere from 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch of much needed rain. The heaviest amounts over the northern sections of the suburbs. 70s for afternoon temperatures, but it's well up into the 80s at this hour. 89 right now in the cities. Hundreds over the central and western sections of South Dakota. And we could see highs tomorrow easily in the low to mid 90s. Now, this invasion of heat and humidity could trigger a slight chance of severe thunderstorms again late tonight, especially over northwestern Minnesota. Tomorrow, a vigorous cold front will come hurtling eastward from the Dakotas. A good chance of strong, possibly severe thunderstorms during the afternoon, and then a big drop in temperature and humidity and some clearing just in time for the weekend. Your 11 outlook calls for a very gusty evening, tempestuous winds. Clearing skies this evening, giving way to a thunderstorm by morning, a low of 65 to 70. Again, those winds this evening gusting past 35 miles an hour, diminishing somewhat after sunset. John and Kirsten, more meteorological stuff coming up in a few minutes.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, Paul. So long.
Now, this may sound a little bit odd, but there's an actor at the Guthrie who knows what it's like to change his nose every few days. News 11's Barry Zavan sniffed out this story, a profile on the Guthrie's Jack Weatherall.
Actors have been playing the part of Cyrano de Bergerac since 1896. Every one of them has had to cope with Cyrano's most famous feature, his nose. The Guthrie's current production features actor Jack Weatherall in the title role. He played a role in choosing the nose with which he felt most comfortable.
Well, there was a lot of debate on the length of the nose.
A plaster death mask of his face was made.
And then on top of this, he tried various versions of noses. And this is what we arrived at.
Breathing and flexibility are no problem once the nose is applied to sticky spirit gum.
Once you set it on that glue, it's stuck.
Interaction with the other performers can present a physical problem.
Well, they all have to be careful. So it's really everybody else's problem, often more than it is mine.
Cyrano was a real person, but he wasn't the only person in history to have a famous large nose.
And who would know better than me?
Barry Zavan, News 11.
Did you catch Barry on the left there?
Yeah, I sure did.
Coming up, a moment in history that changed many lives.
Diana Pierce has more on the destruction and the scars left behind by the Nagasaki bomb 40 years ago today. That story is coming up.
Go bowling, bowling this weekend. Have fun, go bowling, bowling this weekend.
Let loose at your nearby neighborhood bowling center where you and your friends can join a fall league right now.
Right now, lobster connoisseurs know where they're having their dinner. At Red Lobster Fest.
No, thank you. I brought my own.
It's the lobster party of the year, where they'll find 20 different lobster dishes, from lobster Monet to lobster Louis. Half are under $8. Red Lobster Fest. It's the lobster event lobster connoisseurs have been waiting for.
It's all in the wrist.
Red Lobster for seafood.
Tropicana did it.
The taste is closer to the orange than ever before. A new, fresher taste that's closer to the orange. A taste that you'll adore. New, fresher Tropicana taste closer to the orange.
Now 100% pure Tropicana orange juice tastes fresher, even closer to the orange.
They couldn't.
They did.
New, fresher Tropicana taste closer to the orange.
We're Beatrice.
On August 31st, Plow, Minnesota will close its books for 1985.
You betcha, Jared. That means we have to sell all overstock material before inventory.
Like Merilite kitchen cabinets.
Save up to 40%.
Merilite bath vanities are 35% off, too.
These pedestal lavs are sale priced at just $69.99.
Save up to 50% on selected wallpaper patterns.
Plywood, Minnesota, sale priced at 99 cents.
Save as we clear out overstock inventory.
Hurry, sale ends August 31st.
Direct from the factory to you.
Officials at the Minnesota Zoo are still wondering what caused the death of one of the zoo's red pandas. Two pandas arrived at Apple Valley a year and a half ago from the National Zoo in Washington, and 4 days ago the male panda died. Zookeepers say that panda was given a thorough checkup after it lost some weight. Initial reports show some kidney damage, but that may not be the primary cause of death. The zoo is waiting for the results of more tests on the bear's body.
Former President Richard Nixon went back to a New York hospital today after the removal of a cancerous growth from his left ear yesterday. Nixon had a growth similar to the one removed from President Reagan's nose. Doctors say that Nixon is in no danger and that he is in good condition. Efforts are being stepped up by a pharmaceutical company to cure baldness. The Upjohn Company says it is investing $23 million in a plant to produce minoxidil, a drug that's believed to cure baldness. The company is asking the FDA to approve the product, but the permission to produce minoxidil may not come for several years.
Surveys show most Americans approved of the bombs the U.S. dropped on Japan. And on this 40th anniversary of the Nagasaki bombing, it is important to remember the scars left by the atomic bombs. News 11's Diana Pierce was in Nagasaki for her report on this anniversary of the tragic bombing. She warns us that some of the scenes are graphic.
Even as the ground smoldered at Hiroshima and the death toll climbed, the United States prepared to deliver yet another new type bomb. It would become the final blow to Japan. The target, Nagasaki. The time, 11:02 a.m. For those who have survived, the memories of that moment will always be with them. Dr. Tatsuichiro Akizuki is one of those survivors.
I went outside and in the midst of the black smoke, yellow smoke, I could see people trudging along, and they seemed to be naked and kind of white colored and moving through the black smoke, and they were groaning and screaming. People who saw with their own eyes the terrible destruction that took place in Nagasaki are gradually disappearing, and people who can speak about that experience are becoming fewer and fewer.
Today, this black tower stands in Nagasaki's Peace Park to mark the center of the explosion. Thousands of people died within miles of the spot when the bomb went off. But their deaths saved millions of American and Japanese lives by bringing an end to World War II.
Diana will have more on this anniversary of the Nagasaki bombing tonight on the News 11 Extra at 10.
And News 11 at 5 will continue.
This is where the excitement starts. Behind the wheel of Nissan's new 200SX. Just get in and take one for a ride. No car's more fun to drive. Price $790 less than a Celica GT, $1,700 less than an RX-7. And the SX has better handling and performance than ever. The 200SX, it blows the doors off the competition, even standing still.
Get your best deal now at Terry Feldman's Imports, Freeway 494 and Lyndale Avenue, Minneapolis.
Is your family seeing its best? It's important to know. The iWorks makes it easy. This month, pay for your eye exam and test your whole family free.
It's all right here at the iWorks, the superstore of eyewear. From our 21-step eye exam that's so complete, we even take your blood pressure, to the service in just hours from our in-store labs, even for bifocals. The iWorks has it all.
The iWorks, looking your best and seeing your best at hard-to-beat prices.
Ladies and gentlemen, T-Ball for Mattress Liquidators and the world-famous Mr. Red, where everybody is racing to Mattress Liquidators for the big Sealy sale. Have you ever seen the values like they have at Mattress Liquidators, Mr. Red? Oh, by golly, everybody is a winner when they go to Mattress Liquidators, right, Big Red? Right, right. Don't miss it. That's Mattress Liquidators. Wherever you are, there's one near you. Thank you.
Tonight's a big night for the Minnesota Twins, back home after that short strike. As early as 9 o'clock this morning, Twins fans lined up at the Metrodome ticket office. Tonight, the Twins play the California Angels, and Twins officials plan to give away records and free tickets to baseball fans.
They're doing a lot of nice things for the fans tonight. The Twins players themselves were outside the dome this evening, welcoming fans, giving them coffee and donuts.
Are they still there? I'll go.
Let's go right now.
I'm a little hungry.
You have a
I could
job
use
to
a
do
coffee.
here.
Oh,
It was only a day or two old strike. I mean,
Yeah.
they're going overboard.
well, I don't know if they're going overboard. They want to make sure the fans are happy. I
Yeah.
don't blame them for doing everything they can to keep
Plus,
the
they're
fans
14 games behind, too, at this point.
They need all the games they can get. Like
Yeah.
Kent Herbeck said yesterday, they didn't want to cancel 2 games. They're hoping to make those up because they need them bad. We'll have full coverage of that tonight at 10. This is a big story today in sports. The Vikings had another new visitor in training camp today. Linebacker Chris Dolman, their top pick in this year's draft, agreed to terms with the club late last night. Dolman flew into the Twin Cities on a private Viking charter jet this morning, and at this very moment is holding a news conference in Mankato. We'll hear from Chris later tonight, but right now, let's take a look at his background. Chris Dolman, a Pennsylvania native, comes to the Vikings out of the University of Pittsburgh. Dolman was a 4-year letterman at Pitt, and as a junior led his club with an impressive 100 tackles. Last season, Dolman turned in another outstanding year, even though he was slowed by an ankle injury. Chris came up with 65 tackles and was captain of the Pittsburgh squad. After earning all-conference honors for the 2nd year in a row, the Vikings made Dolman their #1 pick in this year's draft. And despite not having a contract, Chris was on hand for their mini-camp earlier this spring. But when their regular training camp opened last week, Dolman was nowhere in sight. Now it is a much different story, and General Manager Mike Lynn has only 2 draftees left to sign. And they have 2 players left to sign, as I said. The 2 are third-round picks, Kirk Loudermilk, an offensive lineman out of Ohio State, and Tim Meamber, a linebacker out of Washington. And Mike Lynn thinks he can have that all taken care of by the end of next week.
What's coming up at 6?
Coming up at 6. More on this, obviously, and more on the settlement of the baseball strike.
Already. Thank you, Jeff. Another trainload of nuclear waste made its way through the Twin Cities overnight. The latest shipment is the 15th to leave the Monticello nuclear power plant. The NSP has been sending spent fuel by rail to a nuclear storage facility in Illinois ever since last fall.
From our update desk now, the Hennepin County Water Patrol still hasn't found an apparent drowning victim.
Diane Rossi is filling in for Andrea Shane. She is in the newsroom with more. Diane?
John and Kirsten, the Water Patrol says it's continually checking Lake Minnetonka for the body of a young man. The search began this past weekend to find a man who's been missing since Saturday. The man apparently drowned following a boating accident. Sonar searchers have been called off, but the Water Patrol is still looking. And a suspect accused in a hit-and-run accident injuring 2 police officers may soon be charged in St. Paul. One of the police officers injured early yesterday morning is still hospitalized. Officer Jim Ramstead is now in good condition. The suspect was released following her arrest yesterday. And a St. Paul meter maid hit by another motorist yesterday is now in fair and stable condition. The motorist who hit the meter maid is being charged with failure to yield to a pedestrian. And the Wisconsin man who kept Minneapolis police in a standoff yesterday may be extradited tomorrow. SWAT team members were called to 43rd in Portland yesterday to try to apprehend Guillermo Vargas, an attempted murder suspect from La Crosse. Vargas was apprehended without incident, and he's being held at the Hennepin County Jail. And finally, the clock is ticking away on what's left of a Hopkins landmark. Susan WUSA reports a memorabilia sale is about to end at the Hopkins Theater.
Where this theater parking sign once stood, there soon will be a new parking lot for brand new cars. Today, the sign, along with some benches from the Engler Theater, were on the auction block.
$1 for each one sheet, $1.50 for the two signs.
Okay.
$3.50.
Moviegoers packed the theater for the final show. The lights at this Hopkins landmark went off in mid-July. And even though efforts are underway to save the tower, this 40-year-old building soon will be torn down.
And today was the last day movie memorabilia buffs could get their hands on remnants from the theater. This take-up reel, for instance, was selling for a couple of dollars.
And Andrew Volna and his friend Rob Nelson were attracted by posters.
We're just, you know, trying to find something that might be valuable. We've been collecting for a while, and it seems like it's pretty bare now.
The man who worked in these surroundings for the past 40 years says even though the theater has closed, it'll live on in the minds of moviegoers.
We sell an intangible product. You can't touch it and feel it, but you can, it's there.
Says Harold Engler, it's not the theater, but the movies that will bring back memories of this Hopkins landmark. Susan WUSA, News 11.
And good memories they are. That will do it from the update desk. John, Kirsten, now back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Diane. Today's 11 Country Good Neighbor serves both his community and those who need special care during troubled times. Patrick Baldwin of Sartell is an international businessman who set his time and resources aside to start New Beginnings, a home for single pregnant women. Patrick's also been helpful in his city's planning commission, so we salute Patrick for making 11 Country and Sartell such a great place to live.
Well, up next, it's back to Paul Douglas's backyard for the answer to his trivia question.
And Paul's all set with his 11 Outlook, which gives a new meaning to the word humid. He's up next.
The Sofa Gallery is having a sale. Choose any sofa and love seat modular sectional in the store at sale prices and get this $699 oak desk absolutely free. Choose from a variety of sofas and love seats. Trendline, Alex Vale, modulars by International, many brands of sleepers, sectionals from Garrett, all sale priced. And get this desk free.
Sofa Gallery, Burnsville, Brooklyn Park.
Here comes another Ember's Better Than Coupon 24-hour meal deal. Brace yourself, because you can have breakfast 24 hours a day for just $1.99, and they mean a big breakfast. 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, 2 slices of bacon, and 2 sausages. The 24-hour jumbo breakfast, 7 days a week, just $1.99 at Ember's Family Restaurants. Available at all Ember's locations where your satisfaction is guaranteed. Oh, and you don't even need a coupon.
Need a quality used car? See your Toyota dealer now. Because of last week's successful sales event, he's got a good selection of quality trade-ins priced right to sell fast. Low mileage Toyotas, domestics and other imports, lots of models to choose from. Your Toyota dealer's earned a reputation for quality, value, and price. So look to him first for the best value in a used car. And for the best selection, act right now. Your Toyota dealers got it right.
Let's all be there. There's no better place to be part of the action. The sheer satisfaction, the smiles and the tears. When MASH comes alive, there's plenty of laughter. The good times are after, are just waiting right here. On TV 11, let's all be there. People come together in the moments that they share. On TV 11, let's all be there.
Really been an on and off day. Rain, sunshine. I guess it's sunshiny right now, huh, Paul?
The sun is out. It is gorgeous out here right now, John and Kirsten. After the newscast, you'll have to come out here, kick off your shoes, and do some serious loitering in the backyard. I should have my pinstripe shorts on out here in the backyard. It's getting warm. It's almost 90 degrees. The sun is out. A violent southerly wind right now, about 40 miles an hour. beware if you're heading out to the lake this evening. It is going to be on the gusty side. Sunshine 89, a south wind at 31 and gusty. The dew point 53, the humidity 29, and the pressure 2981, and it's currently holding steady. Doppler 11 picking up some light to moderate showers right now, all the way from Menominee to Pepin, southwestward to near Cannon Falls. They're moving east. These are the soggy remains of the heavy showers and thunderstorms that squeezed out as much as a quarter to an inch of rain. The heaviest amounts over the northern sections of the Twin Cities. Much needed rain, a lot of lawns looking a lot greener, a lot healthier at this hour. Nothing ominous to our west. It'll be a beautiful evening, a beautiful night. There is a slight chance of a thunderstorm late, a much greater chance of thunder coming tomorrow afternoon. The view from outer space, it was a rather wet day along the eastern seaboard, and there is the blotch of unsettled weather that camped out right over the Twin Cities all day long, producing lots of showers and even some thunder and lightning. As we zoom in, you can see it was a beautiful sunny day all the way from central and western Minnesota westward across the Dakotas. Here is the cold front that will arrive here tomorrow afternoon with a bang. Some of the storms could be rather violent. The weather map tomorrow is going to show that cold front slithering eastbound, producing lots of heavy shower and thunderstorm activity, even a slight chance that a few of those storms tomorrow afternoon could be severe. You'll certainly want to stay up on the forecast tomorrow if you have anything planned for the afternoon hours. The great news, behind this cold frontal system, skies will clear out. Partly sunny on Saturday, mostly sunny much of the day Sunday before the next storm arrives with some showers late Sunday into Monday. And if you're complaining about the clouds and rain today, be glad you weren't stuck in Idaho. Last night it snowed over the highest elevations. A white flaky substance fell from the skies. Temperatures dipped into the low 30s. Good grief. I'm not even going to say anything more about that. Here's the 11 outlook for tonight. A gusty evening, clearing skies, a thunderstorm possible late, 67. And then for tomorrow, partly sunny skies, a good chance of heavy thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high near 90 with plenty of humidity. The 11 outlook, partly sunny Saturday, sunshine much of Sunday, giving way to showers late, a better chance of showers on Monday. There were some thundery showers out there earlier today, and the question I pose to you now, where is the safest place to be when there's lightning darting in the sky over your backyard? John, Kirsten, let's take a peek at the possible answers.
Kirsten knows one, right?
I'm pretty sure of one of them. In fact, I'm going to say I'm confident that C, your car is one of them.
Okay.
Because of the rubber tires.
Pick
Right.
another, just to be safe.
How about the open field?
I'm going to disagree and say your home.
Kirsten, you win the $11 prize today. That's right. Your home and your car, the two safest places to be. The reason your car is safe is because of the 4 rubber tires which insulate you from the ground. The worst place you can be during an electrical storm is on farm machinery, out in an open field, in a swimming pool, on a boat, in a lake. You don't want to be the tallest object in the area, but you're very safe at home or in your car.
This proves one thing, Paul.
What's that?
It proves that I don't cheat.
Are you implying that I do?
No.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you.
If you're going to see the Minnesota Twins tonight, here's a look at what the team is giving away. Once again, ticket holders tonight will be able to have their ticket stubs traded in for another free ticket to a later game. You can exchange the stub for a ticket at the Dome or by mail. The Twins are also giving away copies of the new Talking Baseball record to the first 20,000 fans showing up tonight.
Very nice.
Yep.
We're turning it over to the NBC Nightly News in a moment.
But first, we've set the all-new Talking Baseball tune to pictures, and we'll leave you with a new song. Good night.
Good night.
Just like Tony, the killer and Carew. When the Senators stopped playing ball, the Twin Cities got the call. Minnesota joined the American League. With Mealy at the reins, the Twins made instant gains. In '65, they had the flag and an MVP. I'm talking baseball. Allison and Perry, Twins baseball. Kitty Cat and Jerry, Don Mincher and Mudcat coming through. Jimmy Hall and Davey Boswell too. Just like Tony, the killer and Carew. Talking baseball, Viola and the G-Man Twins baseball. Kent Herbeck, he's a key man. Hatcher, Tim, and Butcher coming through. Then there's Smithson and Bruno Puckett too. Just like Tony, the killer and Carew. Twins baseball, the Twins are coming through. Herbie, 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 I'm talking baseball. Twins. Bruno, Twins baseball. Minnesota coming through. Mickey, talking baseball. The Twins are coming through. G-Man, Twins
Do you know what Louis Rich did? They took turkey and made it into bologna. Bologna that tastes like bologna. And ham that tastes like ham. Salami, hot dogs, all from naturally lean turkey. So they're up to 95% fat-free. To help me stay fit. Perfect for a small snack.
Daddy! With Louis Rich cold cuts, you can eat light.
It took Louis Rich to make turkey.
Or bite.
So right.
Come on in for the Dairy Queen hot dog, now half price. Tasty, plump, and juicy. With ketchup and mustard. Or with chili. Or melted cheese. Mmm, what a taste. What a price. Half price on your choice. Hot dogs from Dairy Queen. Come on in and taste why just about everybody's favorite hot dogs come from Dairy Queen.
We treat you right.
As it goes, our family stays on top of things, even when it comes to health. We get our teeth checked. Kids always get their booster shots. But until Pearl came along with their Family Eye Care Month, we never got our eyes checked unless there was a problem. Incredible. There's nothing more important than our eyesight.
At Pearl, we set aside August as Family Eye Care Month, reminding you for all the years to come that nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.